Life can be meaningful. Ha! In 1999, an animated series called Mission Hill, created by Simpsons writers Josh Weinstein and Bill Oakley, premiered on the WB network, now known since 2006 as the CW. It was intended to kickstart their adult animation lineup alongside The Oblongs and Baby Blues, but were canceled by 2002. The series involves Andy French, a slacker who tries hard to start his career in cartooning, living with his younger, much more nerdy brother named Kevin, together in an apartment at its titular city called Mission Hill. Even though the series was canceled due to low ratings, it gained universal acclaim, praising the humor and its neon color art style. And when the show, as well as the other two shows that aired on Adult Swim, were released on DVD, it, along with the other two, ended up having a cult following. But people have speculated why the WB canceled their animation lineup or why the show had low ratings. Actually, there was a truth behind all of this, a hidden truth, if you will, because I worked at Warner Brothers Animation back when the series was in full production, closely working with Bill Oakley and the Weinstein himself. Sure, you don't know me, we haven't met, you're nothing more than just another stranger to me, and I'm just, rotten to the core. Nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm gonna go eat worms. Sorry, just getting that out there. I have no clue why this tape haunted me for years. Why, Lord, why must you forsake me with this? Anyway, the episode I can recall was one of the 6 unfinished episodes, yet what's so special about this one is that there was no production code. The episode had continuity errors, and the show was horrifying for the public viewing eye. In fact, right when I saw the episode, I was in a roller coaster ride, like that one ride from Roller Coaster Tycoon that had a bones. The original theme song, Italian Leather Sofa by Cake, the show uses the instrumental version, would play during title sequences, but this was replaced with a song similar to the likes of Broken Side called Freaks. Except the lyrics were changed into something morbid. Get your ass to the motherfucking shower. Croak out loud with your fighting power. 9/11's your inside job. You'll run from the government, you glob. There's killing yours maggots while they're smoking yours faggots. Okay, no, this theme song does not fit the show well. Government conspiracies about 9/11 made in 1999 plus, violence revamped opening for this lost episode, followed by the lead singer calling me a faggot. Why, I'm not some kind of British-made cigarette. I'm a human being. I mean, I did a little audio sample of Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People during this already mentioned revamped intro. I was scared, so traumatized. I was mesmerized. I was this close to calling security because of this. The meat and potatoes of the episode began with Andy French looking genially upset. He frowned, albeit a little pouty, like a 5-year-old not getting his way. You know that, Andy French. But it slowly turned into an aggressive, realistic mad. A mean old angry, bubbly, piss-yellow mad as his eyes became bloodshot and photorealistic, all within his violent, frowning-looking moments. "Kevin, you fucking spurglord!" he screamed. I was shocked that he called him a spurg. Wait, was there an episode where Kevin was diagnosed with autism? No, there wasn't, but there was a planned episode involving that, which explains why Kevin insulted him, calling him a spurg. Well, I can't say I endorsed that. It didn't help that Andy appeared to wear a fedora as he began to tip the fedora while carrying a My Little Pony in his armpit, looking at the camera, breaking the fourth wall, smiling sinisterly. "Today is the day that Mission Hill found its supreme retribution maniac." But the camera cuts to Kevin looking appalled as if he was being tortured. Kevin was gulping once he listened to Andy's mutterings of being a supreme gentleman while drinking his racist Starbucks Confefe, which is the only product placement of the entire show. I'm guessing Warner Brothers and Starbucks paid each other royalties to include this in the show. It didn't help that Andy was watching news footage on TV involving the recent Starbucks boycott due to racism. Keep in mind, this episode is produced in 1999. The events of this episode may have predicted almost everything after that year. He muttered, "By the way, that Starbucks coffee, it's the taste of a virgin, like myself. Think about it, Kevin. I've been a virgin for far too long. I was ready to get laid, but you came and fucked it up. Do you think Valentine's Day was the day of love? Of course not. It was the day of Al Capone, Bugsy Malone, Steve Philip Kazmierzak, Nicholas Cruz, Bubsy Bobcat. There was no love for Valentine's. There's never been any love during Valentine's. Love is a joke. The only love I can praise is during terroristic attacks. Because God doesn't love us. God never loved us. Bush didn't love black people, but Jews only love Jews. Boston loved the smell of a bombing during Jews. People enjoyed getting killed during Jews. Katrina and Sandy, people loving the wish of death during the swine flu outbreak. Nobody loves the world. Las Vegas, Paris, Orlando. We're all skeletons. We were skeletons all along. All this does is let you know what you should have known all along, you faggot! Fuck you! What made me snicker a little is the fact that Andy was making his speech about the future end of the world events in a smooth-sounding voice, a la radio DJ announcer, until he started making noises like he was going to choke on his own tongue. I wasn't prepared for the next event that occurred, which would piss me off more and more. Andy grabbed a pistol and shot Kevin, smiling viciously. It was the most hyper-realistic open fire I've ever heard or seen in an animated cartoon. He then teabagged the ever-loving shit out of Kevin, which also disgusted me. Friggin' incest and pedos in a nationally televised animated sitcom. Jews, get out of my head, Mr. Enter. Nobody cares about morals in animation. Sorry. Gotta control my tongue. It's making me angry. The animation quickly changed from its stylized neon color animation to an animation done by a relatively cheap animation studio as the colors were more muted, as if they made the thing in Mexico. Andy runs with his gun to the car and runs it to the sorority row. He then sees all the girls running in peril from his gun as Andy yelled, "I got some testes!" The screen cut to black, and what I heard were a series of realistic gun shootings that were actually done inside a recording studio with actual non-improvised realistic screaming. The one thing I can see is two stock images, one of which being a train robbery in Madrid, the other being a tsunami that hit Japan. When the animation came back on, Andy broke the fourth wall one last time and said, "Well, that was the day that I was a wimpy kid." He shot himself afterwards. The episode cuts to a funeral home with a candle in a black box. The main characters from Mission Hill appeared. We then see Andy's friend Jim looking down at Kevin's coffin and puts on top of the coffin a framed picture of Barack Obama from 2011. May I remind you one last time this episode was produced and was supposed to air in 1999. The episode ends by slowly fading to black with the PSA message saying in Times New Roman size 12, Andy was actually Elliot this whole time. This is why the show had a concept of the day of his retribution. That alone pissed me off. What pissed me off even more, well, I need to tell you all this. I need to tell you all this. So I can't stop thinking about it. I guess I'll Let's stop right here. The end.